Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. As you can already tell from the title above, we are doing the Essence Fall Winter 2018 update. Yes, everybody's already been asking me, Micah, will you be doing a Essence video just like the Catrice one that you already did? And here it is, as promised, I'm doing it. I have a bunch of new products to try. Almost everything that I'm wearing on my face right now is from the new Essence update. There are a couple of products that I'm already pretty impressed by, even though all of this is just first impressions. And there's also a couple that I feel a little iffy about. A lot of these products I want to try a little bit more before I give my final thoughts. I'm not a big fan of first impression reviews, but we'll be swatching things, I'll be putting things on my face and telling you what I think of them as we go along. So if you would like to see all of the products that I use to make this look today, then please keep on watching. So the first new product that I'm going to try for you is the Prime & Studio Glow Boosting Pore Minimizing Primer. So it's supposed to be giving you a glow, but also minimize your pores at the same time. And this is supposed to have pink clay, which I'm not sure how this is gonna go. So if I swatch this for you, there it is, a little dollop there. Let me do a little bit more so you can see better. So it is not too thick, not too thin. I'm not sure, let me see. If I rub it together in my fingers, it does have a nice and smooth texture. It's not super like silicone-y or anything like that, but I think I'll just use this all over my face. It smells really weird. So I think in terms of glowiness, this isn't super glowy. It also isn't super matte. It's somewhere like in between. It's more like dewy, I'd say, but not super. Like there's a little bit of glow, but not too much. In terms of pore minimizing, I also think the effect is quite minimal. As with many products that try to do two things at the same time, I feel that this is a bit, sort of like in the middle. And I don't like the smell of this. I don't know, it has a very florally, perfumey smell to it, and I don't really like it. So this doesn't smell too great, but hey, if it makes my makeup last well, who knows? I might still like it. I don't have an Essence eyeshadow primer, so I'm just using my Milani one real quickly. Now, a product that I'm super excited about is a new foundation. Essence has come out with a new foundation. This is the Insta Perfect Liquid Makeup. And this is supposed to have a strong matte effect. It's supposed to be waterproof and it needs to have buildable coverage, apparently. I got this in the lightest shade, which is 10 Cool Porcelain. And this comes in 9 shades, which may not seem like a really great shade range, but if you are familiar with Essence and Catrice, they are sister brands owned by the same like mother company. Their foundations tend to have just 3 or 4 shades every single time. So for them to come out with 9 shades, I think is pretty good. We're not there yet. I'm not gonna praise them into the sky yet because they definitely can work on even more. But this is the first foundation that any of these two brands did that actually comes in a dark, like much darker and a much lighter shade. I actually think that for now, since it's just like we're just post-summer, you could say that this may be a little bit too light for me. But we're gonna try this, so let me shake this up. So I put a little bit on my hand right there, and you can see that it's a little bit runny, but it's not super watery. And if I blend it out, yeah, it's a little bit light perhaps for me right now. But this will definitely work well for me in the winter time then, because I go super pale in the winter time. So that's what it looks like. Again, this like smell to it, which I'm not a big fan of. It's a different smell than the primer, but Essence products do smell like this sometimes, so we'll see. So I'm just going to be applying some of this to my face, and I'm going to be using a damp sponge. This is a Primark sponge, which I love. I love these. These are €2 for a 2-pack. You get a different shape with it as well, but this is just, I love this sponge. It isn't super matte, I'd say. It still has a little bit of glow to it. And the shade match actually isn't too bad. So I was afraid that it would be too light. And it does make me look a little bit ghostly in the center of my face, but I tend to be darker here and then get lighter towards the edges of my face. So I feel that the shade match here is actually pretty spot on. So I like how it matches in my neckline. So far, so good. I have no clue if this will last. I quite like the coverage. Like I said, this is the kind of coverage that I'm looking for. I just wanted to even up my skin. So that means that we can move on to another new product, and that's concealer. Essence came out with 2 new concealers, but they have come out with the Camouflage Concealer Healthy Glow and the Camouflage Matte Concealer. And this is supposed to have a vitamin complex, and this is supposed to be tattoo covering. I got both of these in the lightest shade. So if you put these together, they are 2 different concealers, and one is definitely a little bit more yellow, and it seems to be a little bit darker than the other one. The matte one is definitely lighter and a lot more pink. This shade is also called Light Rose, and this is the shade Light Ivory. So this is a bit more yellow tone and a bit darker, so I think that this will be best used all over my face, and since this is quite pale, I will be using this under my eyes. I would have loved to see this the other way around, I have to say, because this is a matte texture and I don't really like matte textures on my under eye, but I do like it when my concealer brightens that area, so that's why I'm going for the lighter shade there. And this Healthy Glow one, that's what I would prefer to use on my under eye area. So I would have loved if this shade could have been this one, and then that shade could have been that one. So let's do the face first. So that's the face concealer done. I quite like the effect, I have to say. It's not super glowy or anything, and I felt it was quite thick when I first applied it. So it definitely took some time to blend it out well, but I think it blended out nicely, and I think it matches the foundation very well. It's pretty much the same shade, perhaps a touch lighter, so I do feel it has brightened up my forehead and like my nose and my chin area here. So now we're going in with this concealer. So yes, in terms of shade match, I think that this is better for like an under eye because it has that pinky tone. So it's easier, like it just helps with canceling out any dark circles that you might have. I do feel this doesn't have the best coverage because I can definitely see a little bit of purple still here. And I'm also suspecting this will crease on me because this feels very sort of like tacky almost. So this, the matte concealer may be a nice one to actually use as like a lid primer if you need a tacky base, because it is quite light, so I think it might be nice for like doing things like cutting creases with and all that. But right now on my under eye it looks okay, but I am a little bit scared how this will last throughout the day. We'll see. Then we have another new product. We have the Essence All About Silky Matte Fixing Compact Powder, and this is in the shade Translucent Rose. I don't really understand how translucent can be rose, because this, like, I can understand the name for the product, but how that can be a translucent powder, I'm not really sure. But this is a pink toned face powder, and I like face products that have a bit of pink to them because it just brightens everything up, so I usually quite like that. So I'm just going to be dusting this all over my face to see how that goes. I'm going to be using a Sigma F25 to do that. So that's the face powder applied. I like how it kind of like brightens what needs brightening, but it doesn't really show up too much. So I think this is actually pretty good for my complexion, and I think this will be nice as like an under eye brightening powder on me. Moving on to brows then. They don't have a new brow product, so I'm just going to be using my Make Me Brow by Essence. I love this stuff. This is my second or third tube, I can't remember. So I quickly applied my bronzer as well because they don't have a new bronzer that I want to try. So this is the Lights of Orient limited edition collection from I think 2 years ago. But what is new, according to the packaging anyways, is the Matte Touch Blush in Blossom Me Up. I think that this was such a pretty color. I like these like barely there blush colors to begin with. So this was something that I thought looked really, really nice. But when I swatch it, it barely does anything, it seems. So it definitely is one of those barely there blushes. I can see it a little bit on my hand, and it definitely looks a little bit more pink than it does in the pan. Can you believe that I've never actually tried any of these matte and satin touch blushes by Essence? I just never have. So I thought, why not give it a go now? So here we go. So Essence has also come up with some new highlighters this time around, and I picked up this. This is the Go for the Glow highlighter palette, and this is the Warms. I'm going to be using this pinky shade as a highlight, but I think that this might be nice as a blush topper on me, so I'm going to just apply that over my blush, because I do feel that for right now, there isn't enough blush going on. So I'm going to be applying this one as a blush. Oh, shall I swatch them first? Keep forgetting that. So those are them right there. And then if we swatch them, see, I really like the glow of this like champagne-y one. These look really nice. They definitely have all have like a pinky peachy undertone to them though. So that's something you're gonna like. And I'm going to be using this shade right here as a bit of highlight. There's definitely a bit of a glow there, but it's not like oomph in your face. And I don't really know why they call this the Warms, because everything in here has very much like a pinky undertone. This one up here seems to have like this bronzy shade, at least that's what it looks like in the pan. Seems to have a bit more of a peach to it, but I do have to say that on the face, everything has a very pinky glow so far. So it's not very warm toned, at least not in my book. Right, so I quickly applied some base to my eyes. If you're wondering what I'm using a MAC Paint Pot in Painterly and a discontinued The Body Shop eyeshadow in the number 13. This is from their older line. It's just a very nice sort of like creamy beige shade. Because yes, we have arrived to the eye portion of this video. And I have two palettes to try. And I'm quite nervous for these because my experience with Essence shadows has been a little bit hit or miss. Some of them I love, some of them are just also then completely bad if I don't like them. So I have this for you. This is the Be You Tiful eyeshadow palette. I believe they do 3 of these now, and what these are decently sized 9-pan eyeshadow palettes. I felt that I would go with something super neutral and then jazz it up with the Get Your Glitter On Glitter palette. Yes, Essence has come out with a glitter cream palette. I have a big palette that I bought from Primark last winter, and those shades were like this very sort of, they had glitter in them, but they were sort of like Vaseline with like a hint of glitter. And I was hoping that this wasn't that, because I didn't like the other palette that I got from Primark. And this seems to be that. These I was very impressed with when I swatched them the first time. I haven't put these on my eyes yet, so I don't know what these will do in terms of fallout or anything. But these feel super smooth, super buttery. Like, these feel like really nice quality eyeshadows. Look at that. I mean, I quite like that. That seems to be some nice neutral eyeshadow palettes, or neutral eyeshadows. Like, basic, but nice. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mattes, 4 shimmers, and this is one of those palettes that you might just be able to do anything you like with. So I'm very curious to see how that will apply. However, when it comes to these glitters, they are like that Primark palette, like a cream with glitter suspended in them. It feels like Vaseline, like they're very waxy, very thick. And I will just show you, just try this one here at the top. It feels like there's some sort of seal. And like you can see how much I'm swirling my finger around in this, right? So then you think there will be a lot of glitter there. Now it looks like more here. But especially the first time you try these, and then when I swatch it, it's just a little bit sparse and meh. And it feels very greasy as well, so I don't think that these will be like likely to stay put on your eyes because they are so greasy. I think if you blink 3 times, they're all up on your crease. Purple, silver, green. See, this is what you end up with. It's just such a disappointment. But we also have a blue shade. Let me put that next to it. There's the blue. See, it's just more like waxy, greasy substance than there is glitter in here. So I also have no clue how to apply these. But we have 5 more shades, so let's soldier on. Digging in there, and all I'm getting is this. Look, this is so sad. How is this a glitter palette? Like, yeah, it's a glitter palette, but it's so sparse. This is a purple, this is that purple glitter. This one in the corner here is this. And I really tried my hardest to make sure I got as much product out of that pan as I could. So it's just not great. This one I'm a little bit more positive about. So let's start with something positive and see how these work on the eye. And I need to do something with that orangey brown shade here. So that's the look I've created with this palette. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with this actually. It has nice pigmentation. Some of the shimmers went on straight away. I didn't really need to foil them, even though I probably would, but I'm going to be using a glitter on top of this, so I thought no need to do that. I felt they blended well. Some of them blend away a little bit quickly, which was especially the case for this bronzy shade. But I do have to say that these apply well. The black isn't a super intense black. You definitely have to like build it up to get enough definition, I feel. But especially these like matte crease shades, those are really nice. So this is definitely a palette that I look forward to trying a little bit more. And as promised, I am going to do this. This may completely ruin the eye look that I have on right now. But I am going to be applying one of these glitters. And I think with this look, I think the copper will be nicest. So I'm just going to be applying this with my finger, I guess, because I have no clue how else to use this. So I'm taking a little bit of that and I'm just going to press it onto my lid. Wow. It does absolutely nothing. I have like sparse sparkle. Most of it is still on my finger. Like it doesn't, like the greasiness transfers, but the glitter won't transfer. I do have this essence brush, and this is the glitter and pigment blender, so I'm hoping that perhaps because this is a silicone, that maybe this will work better. Let me see if this actually picks anything up. So I'm like trying to dig some out, and I do get a little bit more opacity with this, so let's try the other eye and see how this goes. So this is a little bit more successful, but here as well, like this way you can probably see a little bit better. You can see that it just sort of like transfers the eyeshadow to the applicator and then the glitter is still stuck on there. That was what was happening with my finger as well. So maybe you have a great tip on how best to apply these, but I would say with this, I know it's just the first impression and I usually don't do these bold statements straight away on my channel, but I would stay away from this. This is not good. So Essence has also come out with some new mascara, and I already tried the original version of the Volume Hero mascara. This is the waterproof version. I usually use waterproof mascara to sort of seal in my actual mascara, because I feel that if I don't do that, it transfers, and especially my bottom lashes, I really like using waterproof mascara for. This has a really big bristled wand, plastic, with like different lengths in the bristles. So we'll see how this goes. Oh wow, I have a glitter almost like up in my eyebrow. I swear I didn't apply it there. So I quite like this actually. I like, it does give more like definition more than anything else. I don't really feel it gives a lot of volume to my lashes. So this will definitely be good as a top coat because I feel it really separates my lashes very well. And that's what I usually use my waterproof mascara for. And then last but not least, we have some lipsticks. They have come out with new Velvet Matte lipsticks. They've mainly changed the packaging and updated the shade range, I think. This is the Velvet Matte lipstick in Dusty Romance. So let me apply that for you first. It's a very nice sort of like dusty rose shade. I really like these kind of shades. I have about 1 million of these. And this is like whoop whoop. That's all I did. So this is a very nice opaque matte, maybe not. It's definitely more matte than a lip gloss, but it definitely still has a bit of a sheen to it. So I would call this a satin more so than anything else. And I'll just be applying this right now. So that's the lipstick on, and I feel that in the viewfinder it looks a bit more brown. In real life it looks a lot more pink, and it looks not as dark as this. It definitely pulled a little bit light on my lips, I felt. It wasn't as dark as I had expected looking at the tube. And it has a very interesting texture. When it goes on, it almost like melts onto your lips. Not that it's actually melting, it's not, but that's how smooth and like how easily this goes on, as if the lipstick almost melts on. So I've taken off that lipstick because we have 2 more. This is the Melted Chrome Liquid Lipstick. Essence has done liquid lipsticks in the past, but they never dried down. This is supposed to be like a metallic, chrome-like look. This is in the shade Iron Heart. So I'm very curious what this will do. And I really think that that shade is super interesting. It's like a pinky rose gold with like a gold shift to it. So it's like a duochrome lipstick, which I think looks really cool in the swatch. I'm not sure what this will do on my lips, so let's try that. It is a little bit difficult to apply neatly, but I quite like this. And it dries down, like instantly. This starts to feel a little bit tacky right now. Kind of makes my lips stick together. Like the formula of this feels a little bit chunky almost, you could say. I do really like the look of this. And then one more lipstick. This is the Glitter Switch Liquid Lipstick in the shade Sparkling Bordeaux. Now, I had never heard of this before, but apparently Ciate has a very similar product to this. When you swatch it, this just looks like a purple lipstick. Now, apparently what is supposed to happen is when you apply this and you rub your lips together, once it's dried down, it looks glittery. So when you press down your lips, it becomes very glittery and sparkly, which is super cool. Yeah, I think this will be fun for like New Year's Eve, a party, anything you have. And I think this comes in like 5 shades, so this is a great one. This is a very fun product to try. So those were all of the Essence products that I wanted to show you for the fall 2018 release that they are doing. These products are all brand new and they are now out in stores, at least here in Europe they are. Sometimes it takes a bit longer for these to make their rounds and come up in other stores in other territories. So far, I think the main recommendation that I can give you, like the thing that I'm impressed with most, is the eyeshadow palette. I think this glitter lip is just incredibly fun. I have to try the base products a little bit more to really see how I like them. And in terms of things that I think just don't even try, save your money, the glitter palette. I've been only wearing this for about 30 minutes now, and my eyeshadow has completely been ruined. Like, it's transferred all the way up into my crease. Whatever I had on my lid just kind of like stamped itself onto the crease, which is not what I was looking for, and all of the glitter has already disappeared that was there. So it's completely been morphing itself into a way that I didn't really enjoy. So So yeah, those were the products I had to show you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. And I would very much like it if you could subscribe to my channel, because I make new videos twice a week on Thursday and on Sunday. So I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye!